walk it off. Crystal Dynamics. Walk it off. What? Of course that makes sense. That's a great slogan. Shut up.
Did I ever tell you at the time I almost got a Gex watch?
Really?
Yeah. I was at a comic convention in, it was like 99, 2000. It was actually San Diego Comic Con. And they were actually still around, but they were kind of in a weird kind of, like, weird whatever. And they were just at their booth, which was really small. There was a guy standing in the middle of the aisle from Crystal Dynamics with the Crystal Dynamics shirt, and Crystal Dynamics watching a bunch of other Gex merch. Mm-hmm. And he was standing in the exact middle of the row, which had other exhibitors in that place as well. And he was just saying, "Free Crystal Dynamics Gex, yeah!" And he was just doing his best to get a huge, huge crowd. Around him were all these booths that were like just surrounded by people who were just frothing for free Gex merch. And so I was there, and I like free shit, and you know, there's this crowd of at least 20 people like surrounding this really thin, like really skinny aisle, and everybody screaming, "Gex! Get me Gex!"
Wow.
And I was there, and
you saw the world's most excitement for Gex ever that has ever been generated.
And they're like, "If you love Crystal Dynamics, say we love Crystal Dynamics, we'll get you a free t-shirt." I did, and there's like too many people, and they're like, "We're out of shirts, sorry, everybody come back later."
Oh, you loved Crystal Dynamics for nothing.
I said I loved Crystal Dynamics, and it was a lie.
So I'm going to do you guys a favor and turn off the sound effects. If you're wondering, there are two sound effects in this game. One is the sound of you firing, the other is the sound of enemies exploding. They're both very loud, very obnoxious, and actually very generic. And the music is worth hearing, because it's pretty much all 90s guitar music.
Alright, if the music is that good, hold on 1 second, guys. I'm going to actually try to boost the audio a little so you guys can hear the music a bit better, because it is a little low here, so...
Okay.
This shouldn't mess up anything too much, as that tends to occasionally occur, but if it does, well, pray for us. But it will do a quick bump in, stuff here, so if you see it go blank, don't worry, it's fine.
You're not missing anything. I guarantee you will not miss a second of Total Eclipse.
Not a single second.
That's my promise to you. Come back, video. Come back.
There it is. Sorry about the cropping there, friends. There we go. Alright, audio should be better for y'all, so we can hear some nice music.
Here we go. Hopefully you'll be able to hear this guy. He's got some tough talk for us.
Well, he looks serious. So nothing is coming out.
Yeah, it sounds like all sound was disabled when you did that.
Okay, that's not what was supposed to happen. And the chicken, by the way, still is not delivered.
Still no chicken. Elgato is back with a vengeance, and it's trying to wreck everything. I think Elgato called the chicken place and told them not to send us chicken.
Alright, let's see if that works.
We're trying this one more time. Honestly, if we don't get any audio from this game, not a big deal.
We will be posting something with more audio later, we promise.
There it is. You should be able to hear something
Yeah,
now.
you can hear it now. So
okay, adjust the screen if you would.
Yeah.
I'll keep playing. So Total Eclipse.
Welcome to Total Eclipse. Sorry for all the problems here. We'll edit this down to be a little more cohesive later.
It's fine. It'll be perfect in post. Absolutely perfect.
Absolutely. There.
So this was originally released for the 3DO Interactive Multiplayer, which some of you may be familiar with, but probably not. It's a 32-bit console, ran on CD-ROMs, came out a year before the PlayStation did, and it had some okay games. I'd say as far as lesser consoles from that era go, it was pretty darn good. I mean, the games are better than anything you'd find on CDI or Jaguar, for one thing.
You know, you say that, but I have actually some experience with this little-known, very odd system. The other day, while I was waiting for something, I was doing some work, video work. And you may not know this, but 3DO, it's actually set up in my back room where I do my video editing. So I thought, well, I may as well, dust it off, and oh my goodness, it seems I have to play this game. So, well, I have no idea. Oh, I am not really moving, and so I don't know how to play this game. And Danny just handed me the food, and because the food is here, so well, I ruined the stream, and we all. Oh, I know why it wasn't working. I was looking at the wrong screen. Huh. Oh, I'm so good at this. Hello, guys. Oh, this is better. When I'm not looking at the streaming screen, somehow. Okay. So, if you want to get my impression, this game kind of reminds me of, pardon my French, of a shitty Descent.
Important chicken update. The chicken has landed.
We have chicken now, everybody!
So while
How
Alex...
many hours left has it taken? How many hours did it take for us to get this beautiful chicken?
The answer is at least 4, probably 5.
gosh.
We've been without chicken for about 4 or 5 hours. So while Alex plays Total Eclipse, I'm going to go ahead and eat all this chicken.
I love my husband here. Welcome to the Adventure Pals, where Danny gets murdered. No.
So, how you liking Total Eclipse? I started you in one of the really difficult corridor
I really
sequences.
like that. Thanks, everybody.
Tell you what, while I do this, how about you read from the back cover?
Listen, everybody, the more you kill, the better you feel. It's the Earth's stellar guard against the alien Draxi. Now's the time to strap in and set the skies on fire. Blistering bombs explode. Shields buckle but hold. Your reflexes better be faster than theirs, because there's trouble over every mountain and every tunnel. Bury the stick in a snap roll. Scream through 20 rounds of non-stop destruction and killer 3D texture map terrains.
Oh god, there's 20 rounds of this shit?
Safe game features allow time for refueling. Space sickness bags? Not included.
Oh, in your face.
Oh, let's check out the manual.
So in big letters on the back, as Alex very skillfully read,
Thank you.
the first thing you see is the more you kill, the better you feel, which isn't just a great tagline, it actually refers to the main mechanics of the game. Because, well, you can't see this right now because they're a little different in the tunnel sequences. But during the outdoor sequences, your shield meter at the top right slowly drains, and what you need to do is to kill enemies, because every enemy you kill refills it a little bit. Therefore, the more you kill, the better you feel.
So it's actually true and not just some weird 90s hype.
Oh, it's weird 90s
Well, I mean,
hype.
it's weird 90s hype still, don't worry.
So, that lends this game... It makes the game feel kind of strange, honestly. It feels kind of like the old arcade game Scramble, if you're like a million years old, like me, where you needed to bomb the gas tanks on the bottom of the screen in order to refill your fuel as it depleted. Sort of like that, except way worse. Other inspirations, let's see, obviously Star Fox. Star Fox came out shortly before this game did, and Crystal Dynamics said, hey, with the power of the 3DO, we can totally do that. Slap some polygons on there. We'll texture map them even. It'll be great.
We love texture mapping here. This music is killing me, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to hear it if I had the sound effects enabled. It would just be like constant blasting.
Very extreme.
This here, believe it or not, is the very first PlayStation game, technically. It was, it hit store shelves on August 30th, I think, 1995. I was actually looking this up today. That was about 2 weeks before the PlayStation hardware itself came out. So they gave you a good couple of weeks to buy your copy of Total Eclipse.
Oh, so you could beat the crowds, thank goodness.
Yeah, beat the crowds. Beat the rush. Pre-order your copy of Total Eclipse Turbo today.
And get a free copy of Rush's Tom Sawyer.
Only at CC's Pizza.
The libertarian paradise you love.
People just watching this segment on YouTube later won't know what the hell we're talking about. But basically, yeah, CC's Pizza, Libertarian Paradise, where they play Rush all day.
Rush and they play Fox News, everything you love.
Mm-hmm. So, as you can see, controls in this game ain't the best.
It's really shitty, by the way.
It's very twitchy, and it's extremely hard to judge when you're about to collide with a wall. Like, you don't know how much leeway you have. Like, look at that. I'm colliding with the ceiling there. It doesn't even look like I'm hitting the ceiling. Adding to this complexity, you can also speed up and slow down, which I think you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to do that in the outdoor segments. And ideally, you want to be zipping around, picking off enemies, keeping your shield refilled. It's all very intense, but in practice, it's just kind of annoying. Like, you never know if you're going too fast or too slow, and if you're going too fast, you're just going to collide with the walls. If you're going too slow, the enemies are going to target you, and they're going to shoot you, and you're going to run out of energy.
Cybermorph, that's what this is kind of reminding me of, at least the environments.
Oh, this is so Cybermorph. Cybermorph, the classic Atari Jaguar pack-in game.
Yeah, sorry that I'm...
Also known as Who Taught You How to Fly, the game.
Yes, there is one of the many fun things about that game is that you get yelled at quite a bit by the weird, like, is she a robot in
It was
Cybermorph?
this weird, bald, green android lady who you would bump into a wall, and every single time she would say, "Who taught you how to fly?"
Anyways, but Cybermorph is, well, it's a great game.
Cybermorph is the first real game.
Should we tell the story?
Why not?
Alright,
Cybermorph is way more interesting than Total Eclipse Turbo.
So let's talk a little bit about Cybermorph. Who here has heard of, I don't know if any of you folks are old enough. Some of y'all are, but back in the day there used to be magazines that, there used to be a lot of magazines about video games.
Yeah, people actually published those. Can you believe it?
Remember?
Weird.
Oh, God. So, one of them, and one of the ones that I actually subscribed to, get a little personal, was a Die Hard Game Fan. Whole long story behind Die Hard Game Fan, where they went, what's going on, but let's just say it's a ragtag operation of people who don't know what they're doing, are very, very passionate, and
where basically every issue that came out was a minor miracle, because just how completely screwed up organizationally they were.
Basically.
So Cybermorph, again, the pack-in game for the Atari Jaguar, and the big push they were giving. They were like, Cybermorph, this is the game. This will define the Jaguar and the upcoming generation.
So they give a copy to, of course, a Jaguar and a copy of the game for Die Hard Game Fan to review for, the launch of the system. And, well, there's a few ways this tale has been told. Some people say it was because this guy was so excited he did this. Some people say he was just a piece of trash who would do this crap. But long story short, someone spiked their coffee with LSD.
This is not an exaggeration. This supposedly actually happened.
No.
One day at the office, someone put acid in the coffee pot, as you do, just a regular old work prank. The old acid in the coffee pot.
Yeah,
So apparently, this unnamed individual who was very excited about every game, including Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, he wrote a preview of Cybermorph for the Atari Jaguar, which was extremely enthusiastic, as you might imagine.
And mentions many things that do not even occur in the game. Such as people, I think, not waving at you, but certain descriptions of buildings and whatnot are very... Yeah.
Extremely exaggerated.
Now,
perhaps you were on some sort of substance when you played the game.
And it's kind of easy to tell. And this is like, I don't know if the reviewer himself spiked the coffee or if...
I don't think it was him. I actually don't know the individual who did it, but I think who did. Because you made a great story happen, buddy.
Yeah, so if you find the Die Hard Game Fan review of Cybermorph and you're like, wow, this really sounds like a really artistic, amazing game, understand that the writer was hallucinating out of his fucking mind. So yeah, Cybermorph, no fun.
This was something like a 6-page preview with like 100 screenshots, and he basically concluded by saying Cybermorph is the first real game. Everything we played before, all bullshit, all a waste of time. Cybermorph, this is it. You got to get yourself a Jaguar. Spike your coffee with a little acid.
See, it's like Listen, man, it's just it's like, you know, everybody's like, man, you gotta listen to Pink Floyd while smoking weed. You gotta play Cybermorph on LSD, apparently.
To be fair, I haven't done that, so maybe it is a really great
good.
game.
Yeah, we don't know if
we ought to try that on the stream someday.
No, actually, I don't want to have to shepherd you through that experience.
You got an acid hookup? Right in. You got a copy of Cybermorph? Even better. That's probably harder to get than a copy.
We actually don't have a Jaguar here.
We do not have a Jaguar.
Lord BBH mentions the other final line, which is Atari from chat. He mentions Atari is back, come pet the cat, which is absolutely the final line too.
That is something you can blame on hallucinations right there.
Absolutely.
Because why else would you write that about the Jaguar?
Hey, you want to come pet the cat?
Okay.
First real game. So yeah, they really, really liked Cybermorph.
Oh,
Me, not so much.
Look how much life I'm losing.
You just flew through and you flew into that, buddy. You
So
have
this
2
game,
lives left.
it's no Cybermorph. I'll put it that way.
It really isn't.
This was the first PlayStation game from Crystal Dynamics, who, as I mentioned before, was previously a developer for the 3DO. They eventually brought over their mascot platformer, Gex, which we'll get to at some point.
Gould. Gould, whatever.
Gould, yeah, Dana Gould.
The man who ruined The Simpsons, and he gets mad when you say that.
Hey, he's Gex. Alright?
Okay.
He is unimpeachable as far as I'm concerned. They would follow this up with Off-World Interceptor Extreme, which is basically this, but on land, and you're controlling like a space buggy or something. And later on, they would do Legacy of Kain Blood Omen, which is much better regarded than this.
Yeah, and Gex.
Afterwards,
it's better regarded than Gex is.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's still very 3DO and kind of like not really playable. But eventually they would release an actual good game, Soul Reaver. People like that game. And as of today, they have taken over the Tomb Raider franchise, and they made the last couple of Tomb Raiders. And they're supposed to be pretty good.
I thought they made the original Tomb Raiders as well. Or
That was Core Design.
Oh, you're right.
And Crystal Dynamics pretty much rescued the series after Core stopped knowing how to make games. I don't know what happened, but everything they made after a certain point was just bad, and it needed to be rescued. So it's an important start for an important developer. However, this is still very much a 3DO game, which is it looks nice, but it's not, oh yeah, I can do this too.
It's not that fun, which is a problem with a lot of the 3DO games I've tried. From chat, Lord BBH mentions the name of, and I won't, for legal purposes, in case they hear this and don't want to get mad at whatever, they mention it in
what's
chat.
What's he gonna do?
I don't know, man. You think I want to... Bro, you see, I don't want to get any game nerds mad at
That's
me.
true, okay.
So yeah, but
we'll call him
thank you,
Mr.
BBH.
H.
Mr. H. Mentioned that, but yeah, so yeah, there you go, chat. But Game Quoter also, from chat, also mentioned a Simpsons critic, a Simpsons Gex crossover.
Ooh. Only in my dreams, am I right?
It's mentioning, it's like, that Dana Gould probably has a spec script for that somewhere, and I genuinely actually believe that.
Man, The Simpsons has had so many crossovers. I mean, you lit Family Guy in there, you might as well lit Gex in there too.
Yeah, it's like, well, why? Why is the Family Guy even there?
Why is Gex even there? You can explain Gex better than Family Guy. This reminds me of the time we put Gex on The Simpsons.
N-Dog mentions from chat, the game looks cool. I think it's pretty cool.
It looks cool. It runs at a consistent frame rate. It's technically solid. It just does not play well.
He also mentioned it looks like a effed up X-Wing, and it really does. It looks like someone took an X-Wing and smashed it.
Yeah. I really don't like the enemy ships in this game, actually, because if you've seen them, they kind of have this crescent shape, and they look like the rings you have to fly through in Star Fox. So when I started playing the game, that was my instinct. I tried flying through the enemies, and they don't like that. I guess this is a boss. Hey, I reached a boss in this game.
Nice!
This is now the furthest I've ever played of Total Eclipse Turbo.
Total Eclipse of the SCART.
A Total Eclipse of the SCART.
Is what you would say if you were playing this on a PS1 to an RGB monitor in Europe. Thank you, everybody. I'll be here all night.
Good night, everybody!
Sorry, everybody. Never sorry.
This thing takes a lot of shots.
Certainly does.
On 3DO, this was called Total Eclipse. The PlayStation version is Total Eclipse Turbo. No idea what makes it turbo.
It's.
I can't answer that.
It's good. I guess is why it's turbo.
I did it.
Hey, congrats! What other kind of this was obviously the first shmup on the system in America.
I guess technically, yeah, because it came out before Raiden Project.
Smebbles earlier, and I want to mention it because you mentioned it from chat. Notice earlier, the mouthpiece is actually so they don't have to lip sync.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Really nice. Really. Speaking of The Simpsons, reminds me of that one Simpsons episode where they were where it was about the Super Bowl and they were all covering their mouths because and the Cleveland Browns. God, I love animation. Thanks, everybody.
Let's just stream The Simpsons. They shouldn't have a problem with that, right?
Yeah. In a world where... Oh, God. Sorry, I was just...
We'll put an episode of The Simpsons up in the corner so you can watch something actually good while I play this game.
Well, as long as we don't run for president and get our presidential announcements pulled for copyright.
Hey, that's a low blow.
You know, as someone...
We all support Rand Paul here in this difficult time.
No.
That's our future president you're talking about, Alex.
Future
it's going
president?
to happen.
Wait. Oh, yeah.
Future President Rand Paul.
Game Quoter actually from chat mentioned Simpsons Wrestling. I've been bugging Danny about Simpsons Wrestling.
We're not going to play the Simpsons Wrestling.
I want to do Simpsons Wrestling.
You're going to regret it. You're going to be like, I should have listened to you, Danny. We should have never played this.
Danny. I waited 4 hours for chicken. I will play the Simpsons Wrestling.
All right, it's probably like $2 nowadays.
We can go to
Simpsons Wrestling is a horrible nightmare of a game.
I cannot wait.
It's cell shaded on PS1, which I'm not sure you realize what that looks like.
Bad, right?
It looks bad. Everything stretches and squashes, and like Apu is beating up Marge. Everything about that game is wrong.
Why?
I don't know.
You know a game that I remember, as this is turned into the Remember stream? There was a really excellent, and you know me in 3D World Sims.
Oh God, what is this shit?
This is bullshit, by the way.
I hate this.
It was called Virtual Springfield, and it came out in the late 90s.
Oh yeah, it was a PC game.
Yeah, it was literally basically it was just a 3D recreation of Springfield, and you kind of walked around, and yeah, it was really kind of cool, actually. I was a fan. Well,
I never played it. It looked alright, though.
Yeah, I forgot how much I got it for. I also bought at the same time that they had a Simpsons animation program, and let me tell you, buddy, if you made a CD-ROM that let you make really crappy animation or movies in the late 90s, after Egghead Software closed and my mom just went and bought all the old multimedia software for $1, let me tell you, buddy, I made some trash. Imagine a teenager going to a Catholic school, mad at everything, and they have access, and they love, their favorite thing is really random jokes and also really bad humor. And so they're like, I have this, and there's a lot of just Lisa Simpson just floating into space going, I'm just jamming.
That's something you would make nowadays. Nothing has changed.
Yes, nothing changes.
I really like this weapon, by the way. Look at this. It just sprays out bullets everywhere.
That's nice.
This game still isn't fun, though.
Man, M-Dog's talking about how we should stop hating. The controls are bad, dude. That's why...
Yeah.
We'll bring it over and you can frickin' try it.
I have played this game several times, and that's the only reason why I'm able to make any actual progress, because the controls are just so poor. I actually don't know how you roped me into this, because my original plan was to make
have
you
me
play
do
it.
it, yeah.
And then the chicken showed up, and everything got thrown out of whack.
And everything changed when the fire tribe showed up with chicken, finally.
You haven't even seen that show. Shut up.
I know.
Can't make Avatar jokes here.
I'm pretty sure I can, and just did, and you just
You don't know the context.
Listen, all I know about Avatar is all my friends liked it, and they were okay with it, but then it like...
But then Korra happened.
Then Korra held a lady's hand, and then all my friends were like, nice, and started going hog wild, and I'm like, dang. So...
Look how I'm colliding with these walls. I'm not even close to them.
Pretty
Star
great.
Fox, you are not, my friend. Star Fox, you are not. Man, I wish I was playing Star Fox right
We
now.
all wish we were playing Star Fox. You
That
know
game's
why?
good.
You know why it wasn't called Star Fox in Europe?
Why?
According to legend. It's called Starwing because the German pronunciation of Star Fox is Star Fox, which sounds way too much like an actual electronics company in Germany, so they switch it to Starwing. That is what I've heard.
Okay. I'm starting to actively dislike this game. It's very poor. Again, on 3DO, you would have taken what you would get, and you would have been happy. You would have played all the way through this, colliding with every single wall along the way. These corridor sequences. Okay, let me get a nerd for a second.
Thank you.
These corridor sequences, they don't work because, like, just in terms of concept, you'll remember something similar at the end of the popular sci-fi movie The Star Wars, when when Luke Startalker boarded his X-wing, and I can't keep this up.
Okay.
The Death Star trench was at the end. That's cool because it was like this huge build-up, and it was super tense and super cool, and like it's a lot of stuff's happening. This, you go into a trench like every 5 minutes or so, and it just loses its luster immediately.
The impact, yeah.
If this was at the end of the game, this would be cool. I think Star Fox actually did something like that. Or maybe Star Fox 64. This, when you throw them in so often, it is not special, it's just annoying. Especially when you make them this difficult, this early on in the game. That's my opinion.
Good opinion, I am.
They should have hired me back then at the 3DO company to discuss pacing in their shitty 3D shooters.
Absolutely. I'm corrected by chat. It's actually Fire Nation who delivered the chicken. Thank you.
Thank you, Fire Nation.
You go.
Good old Luke Startalker.
You know, Luke. You know, Steve Starkiller. You know, actually, straight up, rumor is that he was originally called Luke Starkiller, but either
That's too much. Come on.
Yeah, actually, that's rumor is that they, you know.
And how can a Jedi do revenge? Give me a break.
That's why they trained you to return. Because Jedi's can't revenge.
Good move, Lucas.
God.
Let me talk about Star Wars for a while.
Oh man, let's
become every single nerd talk everywhere on the internet.
I'm actually just gonna say this. I'm just happy that the originals are being remastered and re-released.
Oh, are they?
Well, you know that a lot of the remastering they did for the special editions in the 90s actually destroyed the original masters. So
really?
Yeah, that's one of the many reasons why we haven't gotten an original edition in a while, is because the techniques used to add things in and stuff really fucked with the old masters. Yeah.
Oh.
So, but now that they're bought by Disney, I will just put it this way: Disney has one fuck of an archiving team, so they're actually probably, you know. Also, that's I won't lie. Disney knows that it's bread and butter will be making an original edition Blu-ray that everybody will go hog wild for, and they will make like millions of dollars.
Man,
these days.
totally.
Yeah, basically.
So you guys, you ready to get sick?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't even look at that. Oh, God.
Oh, man. Oh, no. Oh.
Well,
Our sun exploded and I threw up.
That's a really sad time, man.
I forgot you could do that. I think you actually score more points or something if you can fly upside down through the whole level. The thing is, your plane tries to right itself, and you need to just, like, battle the controls while this is happening.
Crap.
So this makes the game a little bit more interesting, I guess, if nothing else. But it's not a viable way to play Total Eclipse Turbo. If you're looking for viable ways to play Total Eclipse Turbo, play Rogue Squadron or something instead.
Yeah.
I don't know. This game, it's not terrible. It's just not something I would choose to play unless it was part of an ongoing project of mine. You gotta take the good with the bad.
You gotta take the Total Eclipse with the Cosmic Race.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. Oh boy, another frickin' trench scene. This will be even more intense than last time,
Very
I'm sure.
intense.
The 15th one will be even more intense than the 14th.
A game quoter from chat confirms that his name really was Starkiller in the original script, and that the main guy in Force Unleashed is also called Starkiller.
Ooh.
Battlehork mentions that they really enjoyed Road Rash actually on the 3DO.
Road Rash, yeah.
That's actually a good 3DO game.
That was great. Need for Speed on 3DO, another great game. Man, EA really knew that system for some reason, and they made some really great games for it.
Yeah, Battlehork also notes that it also may be the most 90s game of all time, and Road Rash is really frickin' 90s.
Road Rash is so 90s it has Soundgarden on the soundtrack. I mean, come on.
Oh, ouch. That is 90s.
That is the most 90s. It's also why we probably won't be able to stream that game.
Oh, gosh.
Thanks, Soundgarden. Thanks, Chris Cornell.
Thanks.
Didn't you think of our streaming show like 20 years after you recorded that song?
Didn't you think of the mess that IP rights would become in the world of streaming video?
Yeah, I bet you didn't think of that. Dickhead.
Frick.
Poor Chris Cornell, he's crying at home right now.
I'm so sorry, Chris Cornell.
He just wanted to watch his buddies play some games, and all of a sudden they're talking shit on him. I'm sorry, Chris Cornell. I love you.
81 Rambler from chat also mentions that 3DO had the only home port of Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo for a really long time.
That's right.
But that the controller was the worst to play it with, and oh, buddy, that is true.
They eventually did release a revised controller, which I hear was not much better, but at least you could hit diagonals on it.
Didn't the 3DO do moderately okay? Not moderately okay, but not the worst in Japan? It had it had more support in Japan than the CDI did, I know.
Actually, yeah, I think it did have some exclusive games that only came out in Japan.
Yeah, because I know that, because, D was on it and a few other, I'm mostly, like I said, I've had the 3DO in my back room, so I've been playing it, and, compared to the CDI, which... Whew, buddy, I had a CDI. I kind of miss it because it is a very European multimedia system, and it absolutely is what it is, and it's really trashy. But it's also really bad, and those games aren't really fun to play, and there's only so many times you can make the Zelda jokes and the whatevers before you're like, this isn't fun.
Yeah, everyone talks about Zelda all the time, but
There's
nobody
so
ever
much
talks
more.
about Eugene Levy's Wacky World of Miniature Golf.
No.
That is the funniest shit of all time, and by that I mean it's not funny at all.
It's awful. Yeah,
The thing is, we actually are in desperate need of acquiring a CDI and either, I don't know, recording or streaming those games or something.
because there's a real dearth of that, and also...
Not just that, but I found out
CDI
that all of them...
sucks.
Oh yeah, the CDI emulators are terrible. Not only that, but all CDIs in the world are destined to die, like, very soon, because when their batteries run out, like the one that tells the time and date, it's not just you don't know what the time and date is, it's you can't start up your CDI anymore. You can't play any games.
Holy shit, so they all have a kind of time bomb in them. When'd you find this out?
This was just a couple weeks ago.
Nuts.
And the thing is, the battery, it's not like the Sega Saturn battery where you can just yank it out and replace it. It is embedded inside of a ROM chip. You actually have to chip away at a piece of plastic, and if you mess anything up, you kill the whole system. And it's just pretty much not feasible to do by yourself. It has to be done by a professional, and how many professionals do you know who are able to do that?
They're in frickin',
Yeah, so we have
I guess
a need
we have
for
to document this. We may, you may put that as a... because we should... Someone needs to document
Someone
that.
give me a CDI. I will play...
Basically...
I will play Eugene Levy's Wacky World of Miniature Golf
And
for
I will
you.
play everything else. I love going through CDI crap.
Because here's the great thing about the CDI. If someone else plays it and documents it, there is no reason for you to do it for yourself. Because those games are completely devoid of all fun. If you can find someone else to play them for you, you have gotten all of the experience that you need to get. There are no good CDI games. I'm sorry.
A few questions. M-Dog mentions if we're ever going to do 3DO or Cyberdillo. I know because, for a fact, M-Dog wants to do Cyberdillo with you. So,
I hate Cyberdillo so much.
So he will do it for you, so yeah.
Okay.
Also, Smebbles mentions that Super Great Friend is doing a lot of CDI streaming. Do you know if he uses original hardware or an emulator?
He does. He uses original hardware, and there was a time when he would play like 5 or 6 new CDI games per episode. I really enjoyed those.
So he's been doing... He's
been doing great work.
So yeah, so at least we know that's there. So,
and has if you've seen his stream, you can judge for yourselves that these games are not worth playing. They're worth playing for like 5 seconds, and
they're not fun.
And he hasn't played miniature golf. I'm gonna keep harping on this because people need to see that game. It is a critical part of the video game lexicon.
2 things. Lord BBH is from chats mentioning some wonderful lines from that beautiful Eugene Levy's Wacky World of Miniature Golf, including stroke limit.
You've reached the stroke limit.
And of course, on this prehistoric dinosaur-themed hole, you want to try to be under tar.
Under tar!
As you may have seen, we have played a lot of this game. Also, Smebble from chat mentions that...
Look at that thing!
Amazing!
That's actually cool.
That actually is. I'm glad you kept playing. This is really sweet, actually.
This is the coolest part of the game so far.
You a Laser Lords fan, Danny?
Oh man, yeah, I've kept up with Laser Lords. For those who don't watch Super Great Friends weekly stream, I highly recommend it. He's a very entertaining Let's Player, and recently he's been playing through Laser Lords, which is... I'm gonna say it's the only good CDI game, and maybe not even good, it's at least interesting. It's this really intricate adventure-styled game that takes place from a side-scrolling perspective. It's got so many weird puzzles and things you have to figure out and solve on your own, and it's super interesting and kind of awful because it's a CDI game, but at least it's really cool to watch. Like, I hadn't previously played Laser Lords, but it's a fascinating game. If you have a CDI, get yourself a copy of Laser Lords, I guess.
Nice. Let's see here.
This thing is so cool. I can't get over it.
It really is.
I'm just gonna sit here and blast it.
Nice. M-Dog really wants to play, Oh yeah, the Wacky World of... Game Quarter mentions from chat that the Wacky World of Miniature Golf won the Best Comedy Game Award at Cybermania 94. Cybermania 94, that is all on YouTube. You must watch that, audience. I can't tell you to, but I would highly recommend Cybermania 94.
Yeah, after this stream, you all need to go look up Cybermania 94 if you're not familiar with it. It is a video game awards show hosted by Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Leslie Nielsen. And their love explodes across the stage.
It is fantastic. It is astonishingly 90s. If you want to see... Also, it seems to have been highly paid for by Philips because the majority of games that win are CDI games.
Yeah, every single category, if a CDI game is nominated, it wins. Like, even the bad ones, like that Caesar's World of Boxing games won for Best Sports, beating out, like, Madden, I think.
Madden! Friggin' Madden! Yeah, it's actually really amusing to watch if you want to see a bunch of crappy games beating out a bunch of really good games.
And it also has it has a lot of good anti-humor in it, too. Like, they try to be funny, and it just does not work on any level. Highly recommended, in other words. I've gotten very far in this game.
You really have.
I'm shocked
Game
I'm
Quarter
still playing.
mentioned Cybermania also features Will Arnett.
That's right.
It was his first appearance. Also, fun fact, I actually ended up finding out, there's a friend of mine who actually ended up doing the video editing on the history segment in Cybermania.
Those are like the only good parts of that show.
And yeah, so I actually... So I was talking about Cybermania, and they're like, "Whoa, I did that!" And I was like, "Wait, really? Amazing!"
That is amazing.
Yeah. And here I am editing videos where I talk about Cybermania 94 video editors. Amazing! It all comes around full circle as you shoot through these cool hills.
And the game has come full circle because I started out flying through hills. And now I'm at differently colored hills.
Nice.
These are dark brown instead of light brown, like in the first level.
Your health don't look too good, buddy.
Welcome to the world of 32-bit, everyone. This is why you bought your PlayStation.
I love it. It's again, first PlayStation game. You hook it up, you put in your Here Now, Play Later disc, as we showcased earlier, and now
you've been listening to your Korn CD for months. If you missed the intermission, we showcased Hear It Now, Play It Later, which is a demo CD they gave you when you pre-ordered the original PlayStation. Before the system came out, you could put it in a CD player and hear hits by the band Korn, with a K, your favorite band.
Korn.
And after the PlayStation came out, you could put it in there and see a whole bunch of weird tech demos.
Including a cool dinosaur.
That was a cool dinosaur.
Everybody really likes that dinosaur.
And then after you've looked at that dinosaur for a while, you can really engage with 32-bit by playing Total Eclipse Turbo.
Amazing.
I'm going to crash my plane on purpose now.
Oh,
I think I have played more than enough Total Eclipse Turbo. More so than anyone should have ever played within their lifetime, frankly.
Agreed.
Oh man, I really like this weapon though.
So you can't stop playing because this weapon is just too enjoyable.
Yes, I can.
No, actually, yes, he can. Everybody, we all believe in ourselves here, and
you have seen a significant portion of Total Eclipse Turbo tonight. It's all right. There's much better games. There's much worse games. We played Cosmic Race a couple weeks ago.
Oh man!
Here's Cthulhu to gloat. He killed our son, not like our biological son, but
the glowing star.
Mass in the sky, and now he's killed us.
The hot orb.
Thus the name Total Eclipse. You see, they've blotted out the sun because they shot it and murdered it. That is what you call a total eclipse.
That is when you murder the sun.
Frankly,
in cold blood.
So there's a sequel to this.
Blood, I guess.
There's a sequel to this game called Solar Eclipse. It's a Saturn exclusive, and frankly, I don't know where you go from there. Like at the end of this game, do you get the sun back? Is this like Double Dragon 2 and everything's all right at the end for no reason? So that's Total Eclipse. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Go watch Cybermania after this. It does feature, as Chat mentions, Will Arnett discussing giving away codes for Double Dragon 5.
The Shadow Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Double Dragon 5, the best Double Dragon game. I'm sure we can all agree. Here we're going to witness our beloved sun get destroyed yet again.
Not again!
The darkest moment in human history. Literally!
Stop. Look at them just eating. Look at those mic.
Yeah, they're.
Bad.
I love this animation, yeah.
Oh, bless this.
But no, picture it being like 20 years ago and you see this. This is some mind-blowing stuff, assuming you didn't have a Sega CD or something. And if you didn't have a Sega CD, what was wrong with you?
Oh, it's him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Hey, bro. I killed the sun.
Joy.
Come at me.
I do not know if this is a Rambler, if this is the space station from Firefly. I really do hope in my heart of hearts that Joss Whedon played a lot of Total Eclipse and was like, you know what, I need to incorporate these designs into my next project.
Joss Whedon's first writing project. All the characters in this game are very witty, you'll notice.
He also mentions, Smebbles from chat also mentions if they ask a really important question, would the game be better if your legs were sticking out of the back a la Cyber Boogie? And I say, it depends.
This is a better game than Cyber Boogie. I'm gonna go with the serious answer on that. However, this game would be improved if you had your legs sticking out and flying out the back of your spacecraft. Especially
if instead of all the loud sound effects that are just constant blasting, what if instead, hear me out, the sound effect was just whee! You just kind of flew through space, just your pure exuberance as you fly through stars and that sort of terrain.
How about instead of a ship, you just control Pepsi Man? I don't know.
You fly Pepsi Man! Getting
Pepsi
revenge on the sun that has been stolen from him. Because you see, he needs the sun. Because without the sun, no one's getting hot and no one's getting thirsty.
Look at these default computer textures they're using as the backgrounds
for
these. Those gradients.
Oh, those gradients are lovely.
Exquisite. So, I've seen the credits for this game. This port was designed in collaboration with Beam Software, who produced a whole bunch of games during the NES and SNES era. And they specifically credit Mark Cerny, who was the hardware architect for the PlayStation 4.
Oh.
He also created Marble Madness. He's had quite a career, that man. And this was not one of his highlights.
No idea that, well, did he work for Beam?
I'm not sure, actually.
That's really interesting.
It just said in collaboration with Beam Software and Mark Cerny.
Oh, okay. So maybe he was just like...
They specifically called him out. Like, he was the man who made this happen.
It's his fault. No.
So you've gotten another taste of what it was like to be a PlayStation owner the week it came out. A mix of excitement and then possibly disappointment if you bought Total Eclipse Turbo. If you bought the Raiden Project, you'd probably be a much happier person. And I hope you did.
Well, and if not, well, at least you got to see that amazing ad about Gex playing dodgeball with your soul or whatever.
Check it out. Oh, never mind. I was doing a one-handed pacifist run. That ended
And you
pretty
just
quickly.
flew into the, yeah.
So thanks for tuning in this week. We will be back next week, probably with more PlayStation games, because we like playing them. They're fun and interesting.
We love them.
Thanks for coming out. This has been Danny and Alex.
I'm Alex.
Alex is about to eat a whole lot of chicken wings.
Oh, he's so happy.
And we'll see you next week.
Before you go, M-Dog mentions the controller. Was that a beta controller? It looked all messed up. And I think it may be just an early render they did that looked really, really, really bad.
I think so, yeah.
Alright, well, thank you.
Okay, I'll see you guys later.
Thanks for coming, guys, and have a wonderful night.